There. Okay, good afternoon. I'm Lorraine, and this is October the 2nd. My goodness, it's going into fall and Halloween. So we're at a wellness gathering, and today we're continuing on and taking responsibility for our well-being through the principles of core alignment. And we're focusing on making use of time. And Lynne Hilderman, she's our guru in leading the session. Okay, Lynne.
Awesome. Yes, so we're going to be continuing more on focusing on time and what we do with time and taking more responsibility for our health and our wellness and things that are important in our lives. And so we're going to start today with a question. Then the question is, what is something that you easily lose track of time doing? So my name is Lynne, and I am in Calgary, Alberta, and something that I do that I easily lose track of time doing. Well, something I do is I really like to just kind of be in the flow. That's what I call it, sort of this flow state. And my life right now has, because of all the changes we've gone through in the last, well, I'm going to say probably 4 years, but particularly in the last 3, I'm much more able to be more in a flow state. And I can easily lose track of time just going with the flow. I like to be able to say yes to getting together for a walk with somebody, or just visiting with other people. And then I guess knowing my schedule is fitting my flow. So that's something I lose track of time doing. Madeline?
My name's Madeline. I'm in Calgary, Alberta, and something I do that I can lose track of time. I'd say reading. Reading is seems to be the theme. I had reading last time, but reading, I can sit and get lost in whatever story I happen to be on for hours and look up and go, oh, oh, I've sort of done a whole afternoon. I didn't really realize, but it's very enjoyable. So I do that a lot.
Awesome. Dawn Marie?
I'm Dawn Marie, and I'm from Sacramento, California. And the thing that I most lose time with is checking my emails. Oh my gosh. When I get online, I say that I'm only going to just click on it and just say that I read it, but then I get so involved in it that by the time I realize it, I've spent 15, 20 minutes on an email. And so I've got to get better with that, spending too much time checking my emails.
Awesome. How about you, Olive?
My name's Olive. I'm in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And the thing that I can lose track of time with is a Netflix series. I just finished watching Firefly Lane, and I go on Netflix and I think I'm just going to watch one episode. Well, before I know it, I've watched 4 episodes and 2 hours of that. That's my guilty pleasure.
Oh, dear.
So how about you, Lorraine?
I'm Lorraine, and I'm in Wausau, British Columbia, in the East Kootenays. And something that I lose track of time is sleeping. I'm going to be a little different. I can lose a lot of track of time and dozing and having a little cat nap. In fact, I just got up from one, but I sit in Randall's new chair and I put my sleep mask on, and it revives you.
Awesome. Awesome. There's nothing like having free time to lose track of time. Right? And really looking at what we do with time and how we even use that word through our language in so many ways. What I'm doing with my time, I don't have enough time, however we use that word, but we all easily lose track of time. And then what is it? What is time? And so we're going to be looking at what more for and the concept of that those using what questions. And one of the principles in core alignment is to ask what questions as opposed to why questions. So what would be the reason that we would use a what question as opposed to a why question, Madeline?
Why question brings forth sort of a, defensive stance, like as if you were being a bit in the wrong. But what question opens it up to a little bit more of a more possible. So I think that's one of the factors, perhaps.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it does. What about you, Dawn Marie? What do you think we would want to use a what question as opposed to a why question?
Wow, that's totally has me stumped. A what instead of a why? Well, I'm not really good at asking questions. I'm trying to get better at that. And so I think for me, just getting into the mindset of saying, what can you address that to me? Or maybe can you, I don't understand, and just being very upfront with the person who's asking me the question, and then letting them know why I'm being challenged with this. And I think that will allow me to be a little bit more authentic when I give an answer that they don't understand why I gave that answer.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it. Awesome. How about you, Lorraine? What do you think?
Yeah, that's interesting when you start looking at the why and the what. I think when you just listen to the words what, there's more, to me, there's more possibilities. The why is, as Madeline says, it's like you're being challenged or punished, or it's a heavier feeling. So a what question it just goes out there, and it's a little softer to take. So I think that's, when you really think in how you feel when you hear the word what versus why, there's a definite vibration that you get from those words. So what opens the possibilities, and the why is, you're a bad girl type of
Yeah.
thing. Because that's what you hear when you're growing up. Why did you do
Right.
that?
Yeah, right.
So, all of a sudden you're,
Yeah,
so
totally. How about you, Olive?
In my thought process, when you use your word what, you're ready to problem solve. You're ready to come up with solutions to that situation. When you say why, you're being defensive and saying, why did you ask that? I'm not going to have anything to do with that. So that's where my head goes with it.
Totally. Yeah. So yes, this defensive, what it does was, when we ask a why question, it actually puts us into our 4-year-old state of exactly what you said. Oh, I must have, why would you do that? and it triggers our subconscious thoughts, feelings, and emotions that have occurred in the past, and it actually triggers a program to run that's from the past when we ask why questions. So we're going to be looking at what more for as opposed to why, and what we would want to focus on time for, what, as opposed to why would we focus on time and making the best use of time. It's more like, what would we want to look at time for? So what would you like to look at time for over these next few weeks, recognizing the intentions that we set? How about you, Lorraine?
what comes to my mind is one of the humans being more classes that we took is the tiny habits of what you do with your time. and how significant breaking things down to tiny habits and focusing on a schedule or what you do daily and really be mindful of what you're doing. So that's sort of what came to my mind about what for, asking what for. And it's the tiny habits we do every day that we subconsciously do but we're not aware of. And it keeps you on track.
Got it. So what more for would be to look at the tiny habits that support us. And yeah. How about you, Olive?
I think to prioritize the important things in my day, in my life, that would be what I would, that's the what for that comes to my mind.
Got it. Dawn Marie?
I would have to say being more mindful of, what I do in a day. I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. There's really no structure to a schedule for me except for Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays when I go out. But everything else is like, if I think of it, then I'm going to sit down and do it. If I don't want to do it, then I'm going to go and turn the TV on and do something else. So I think
Netflix.
maybe be a little bit more strategic in my 8 hours in a day, and maybe I can really, be able to define what I do in a day. Because right now, I don't know. I do what I want to do.
I got it. Awesome. How about you, Madeline?
I'm with Dawn Marie. I think there is some joy in being that free and easy, and to find the joy in it, I think is the challenge, because we have so many external pressures on what we should be doing and how we should be spending our time, and to free ourselves up of those external pressures, I think, is the challenge, because we're programmed to not be free in that sense. And so I am making a big point of figuring out how to be free and not feel guilty. And part of that is that intent, right? That emotional comfort, just that. That's what it means to me, that freedom.
Got it. So you would like what more for would be to
continue focusing.
being more on being free.
Free.
In sight of whatever the schedule is, or the things that are the tiny habits or whatever is important
in those moments.
Yeah. Well, when I think of what I would want it more for, I like having focus. I mean, my schedule right now is really serving me, because I spend a lot of my time is spent looking at my schedule and deciding whether it's a fit for me. And I work still with clients and I enjoy my work, but I also have a lot of self-care things that I like to do I like to have the balance in all these different areas of life. And I think tiny habits right now will set me up for my future, where I might have more space and time. And so, but there's this place for me of what more for is how my schedule actually does serve me, and other people that come to see me, their schedules change. So I really like the flexibility of being able to, somebody says I can't come today, or can I move it to this day? And I love having the flexibility of my time and my space where I'm working and the things that I'm doing. And there's certain things in my schedule that have a certain time and they really serve me. So that's one of my what more fors, for focusing on time and what I do with my time and how I spend my time, and having more flow, because it is important to me to have more freedom and flow as well within that. So let's see, what question would serve us most now in going forward with looking at what more we would want to take responsibility for our health and wellness now. So asking what questions is always a fun exploration, and we ask what questions typically more than once. So what question would you want to contemplate asking yourself for tiny habits this week? Madeline?
A question might be, what serves me the best in starting my day on a joyous level, on a joyous note?
Cool.
What did
So
I just
what,
say?
what serves me the best?
Okay, good.
What serves me the best on a joyous level today?
Right.
That's
good. Yeah.
Is that awesome?
That's, yeah.
How about you, Olive?
My question, do you want on a daily basis or a weekly basis, or?
Well, till we meet again would be good. But what question, just
I-
get used to asking what questions.
Question I'm going to ask myself every day this week is, what is your priority for today?
Cool. What is your priority for today?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. How about you, Dawn Marie?
My question would be, what is my intention for the week, and having it set every day and being able to conquer it? Put it out there and making it happen, or being aware of it happening when it does happen.
So what is my intention for the week?
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Lorraine?
Okay, boy, oh boy, that's so my question would be, what productive activity can I accomplish today or this week? And what can I
Okay.
productively focus on?
So what productive activity can I focus on
Yes,
today?
today or this week or going forward.
Oh, going forward. Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
I guess it's just different words that you can use, or your intention.
You
or,
could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But productive is a good word to make you feel good that you've actually were productive. I'm productive. I've got my supper ready on the stove.
Nice. Yeah, so I guess what my question would be is, I mean, I often default to a very what else is possible question, but really it's like, what would make my day the most enjoyable given the things that I'm choosing? Because I like to bring joy to what I'm doing, because I love I love my life, I love my family, I love my clients, I love what I've created. So what was my question? What
would make my day the most enjoyable?
What would
I know.
make my day most enjoyable? So isn't it, see, this is the thing, so, and maybe you guys all experienced this. We just asked a what question, and it was sometimes hard to hear ourselves with what we just said, because we're actually accessing our unconsciousness to get that information. And this is the value of asking what questions and asking them more than once, and really asking, what question could I ask that would actually, cultivate some of this. So it's really good to be able to use the what do they call it? What did Kate call it? The third person listening skills, right? The outside observer, to really hear what's being said. And that is a muscle to that we're going to be working on through all these conversations. So what will you take with you from this conversation that will serve you until we talk again? Madeline?
What I will take with me that will serve me until we talk again. Well, a good reminder that what questions are very valuable, and to practice on ourselves. I think that's really one of the bigger moments where we can really ask ourselves these important questions, because we just don't, I don't think to. So that's a really, really good reminder.
Ola?
What I will take with me until we meet again is to ask lots of what questions this week.
Awesome. How about you, Dawn Marie?
I would have to say the same. I was at a class today, and this gal was talking to me about how she was not able to get away to come and work out because she's working with her daughter. And then as I'm exercising, we get through the session, and I never did ask her, well, what do you do? What does your daughter do? And I'm just kicking myself, like, why didn't I ask her? What kind of work does your daughter do? So be more mindful of that to ask these questions.
Got it. How about you, Lorraine?
What I'll take away from this conversation till we meet again, feeling more comfortable and acknowledging the what questions, how important it is, and not be afraid to say ask those questions. And I like all the what we have just said about what, joy, attention, productivity, and I can't remember all of what you had said.
I've got it written down.
You got it written down. I was writing it down.
I wrote it down, and it's on the recording.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to listen to this again, but it's just the words that we've used today, and it's very interesting. Yeah,
it's awesome. Well, what I will take away from this conversation that will support me until we meet again is this element of curiosity that supports asking what questions. And I think, just in what you were sharing, Dawn Marie, it's like often, I'm in an interaction and I would have liked to ask more what questions, and so how, really, if I do find myself being more curious, that is a big red flag for me to go, well, what question could I ask that would, bring me the most joy, right? Or, what question could I ask that serves me the best today? Or, all the things that, what is my priority for today? How do I want to connect with other people? It is, what is my intention for the week? Like all the questions that we came up with today, I think will forward all of our missions, whatever they are. So what will you take with you that'll support you for the rest of your life, Olive?
I will take with me to support me for the rest of my life the value of the question of what, to incorporate that into my conversations with people.
Madeline?
What I will take with me that will support me for the rest of my life, that we are all in search of all of these answers for ourselves, and that it is a very healthy way to be, to want to create a pleasant life for ourselves and to be in a good active mode that we, that moves us forward through life, and that's a healthy way to be, and I think it's admirable.
Lorraine?
what I'll take away that will support me the rest of my life. I like the explanation that you gave, Lynne, about how our subconscious and are going back to childhood and that. I think that just to hear that and to understand more about our subconscious and how we bring up feelings and memory from our past that will interfere with what we do today. So I think I'll just, I'm gonna have to re-listen to this recording to make sure I get everybody's take on this, because I think it was very, very, very productive today and very interesting to acknowledge that subconscious mind of ours that we don't understand, or how it comes and why we do or think the things we do, and ask more what questions.
Awesome. Marie?
What I will take away from today that will support me for the rest of my life or until we meet again is knowing that asking the question is for my benefit. It's not for anybody else's benefit other than to help me to know that it's okay to ask the question. Because oftentimes I am left hanging with, why didn't I? Or maybe, you know, am I under the assumption, which you don't want to assume, that they're thinking like I'm thinking, that why didn't I ask more questions? So coming to the conclusion that be more intentional with why I need to ask questions and being okay with that.
Awesome. Awesome. Wow. So what I will take with me that'll support me for the rest of my life. Wow. I just am taking away a huge amount of gratitude. I feel like I've got Kate Michaels sitting on my shoulder right now. And yeah, just around the principles of this work and how important it is to look at what question could I ask when my mind wants to go into a why. Why did this happen? You know, why are you doing that? It's like, what, you know, just trying to reframe what for, you know, what are you doing that for? You know, and rather than going down that childhood rabbit hole of my negative mind. Anyways, so that's what I will take with me. And I just thank all the teachers and support that's out there. So thank you all for showing up and gathering more information to support ourselves and creating this beautiful community.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Lynn. And we'll, next Monday is a holiday, and we'll pick it up after the Thanksgiving weekend. Is that right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
right.
Okay. Well, bye-bye.